You have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
It's okay. I was just asking. Chevy Camaro stopped at him. Stopped for speeding. 73 and a 55. And it's got bullet holes all in the driver's side. I'm gonna do the obvious thing I want to do. Hey. Yep. Put your hands up. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
I didn't hurt him. I just killed him a little bit. Let's get salty. I guess the moral of the story here is, if you're going to ride around with a body in your trunk, you should probably not be speeding and smoking weed while you do it. And certainly if you're planning to drive around speeding with a body in the trunk of your car, you should at least have your driver's license. First, I want to give a big thanks to Hot Boy Jesse for posting the dash cam of this video and what's going on with it. This case is not very big. It hasn't gotten a lot of recognition, but I can't for the life of me figure out why. He also put up the interrogation videos, which I'm going to link in the description below, back to him. So I hope you click on them and watch the full thing. Here, I'm only going to be using some highlights for a reaction and analysis. The driver, Michael Mitchell, 23 years old. The body in the trunk, that of Michael Robinson Jr., just 18 years old. You're going to notice when the trooper stops him, instead of the trooper going up to Mitchell's door, he stays by his own car and asks the driver to get out and come to him. Might seem risky, but he's doing this, I think, so he can keep Mitchell in the line of sight.
Hey, driver. Hey, driver. Hey, step back here with me, man. How are you?
I would really be interested in the opinion of somebody who has field training on the procedures this officer carried out, because I do understand why the officer had the driver, Mitchell, get out of the car, but I don't really understand why, if the trooper saw the bullet holes, he let him get out of the car so casually and just sort of walk up. Because if Mitchell had had a gun and been so willing, he could have pretty easily shot this trooper.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Trooper Nielsen, Louisiana State Police. The reason why I stopped you was for speeding. You know how fast you're going?
No, sir.
73 and a 55, so it's 18 over the limit. Do you have your driver's license?
No, sir.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, sir.
And why are you driving?
I was just
okay.
going home.
What's your name, man?
Michael.
Michael. Is anybody with you?
No, sir. It's just me.
You have insurance? Show me your insurance. Whose car is this, man?
Big brother's car.
Your big brother's? You smoking weed today? Look at me.
I did early. I'm not high right now.
Okay. All right, we'll take a look at you. Do you have an ID? You have any ID? Is there any weed in the car, man? Don't stop. Step here. Step here to me. Look at me, Michael. Make eye contact with me. Step out here. Step up here. Is there any weed in the car? Yes or no?
It's just a doobie in the ashtray, like.
Okay.
Other than that, there's
anything else?
Dizzy.
All right. You be honest with me, I'll be honest with you. I ain't looking for no roach. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else in there?
Dizzy. I promise.
Okay, it's in the ashtray? In that
Yes.
cup thing?
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Dizzy.
Okay. When did you puff last?
This was
Be
like
honest. Because I'm a drug recognition expert.
about an hour ago.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look at you. But all right, where are you headed right now?
I was headed back home.
Okay. Where's home? What's your address?
I got him.
No, stop. Come here. Where do you live? It's easy. It's easy to answer this. Where do you live? You don't know how to drive to your house?
I was coming from there. How I got lost.
So what's the address?
I'm code 4.
No.
What? You don't know your address?
No, sir.
Okay, come back here. Come back here.
3 with Texas.
You've admitted there's a small amount of marijuana in the car, and I've smelled it. It's probable cause.
In Texas.
Can I take a look in your car? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Michael Mitchell's driving around with this body in the trunk. He gets stopped by cops, and his story's starting to waver, but he's not breaking a sweat. Turns out Michael Robinson Jr., the victim's mother, had reported him missing, but they never reported the car as stolen. So when the trooper ran the car plates, he didn't find anything amiss. This driver seemed to be acting odd. He had smoked weed, admittedly, an hour before that day. Driver says he has no license. This trooper's being super cool about it. But he has a bad feeling, and the feeling seems to be made much, much worse when randomly this guy pulls up on the side of the road and says, "Hey, that's the Camaro we've been looking for." And the kid who drives it, he's missing. Still, this driver, Mitchell, he almost gets away with it. Dispatch is like, "Nope, car's not missing. Things seem fine to us." Good thing Mitchell stupidly gives troopers permission to search the vehicle. So obviously they find the body, but they almost didn't. They almost let it go. It's crazy how close they came to letting this go. And then some really procedurally funky things, in my opinion, happen after the shock of finding the body. Now you might be thinking to yourself, wait, the trooper smelled weed. That's probable cause. He can search. A defense lawyer could theoretically, I think, be all over this as to the scope of the search in the car. Is it reasonable to look in the trunk? Do they really think that he has a bunch of weed in the trunk just because they found some in the ashtray? Also, he's not necessarily under the influence, depending on when he last did it. Just because it's in the car, it could just be something like a ticket. The license might be a problem, but they could let somebody pick up the car. And he's claiming his brother did it. So there's all kinds of little what ifs going on. That's why I say he could have potentially gotten away with this in this kind of, smaller town living.
Hey, come here. Put that phone on that hood. You know you ain't gonna sit here and be texting behind my back while I'm sitting here in this car. Get on that car.
So, from what I can tell, the trooper just completed a search of the cab of the car and is satisfied that there's no other drugs in the car, and that's the reasonable scope of the search typically. So, he's done with the search, right? Except for one thing. He just noticed the bullet holes.
I got this. I got a orange and black Chevy Camaro stopped. I had him stopped for speeding, 73 and a 55, and it's got bullet holes all in the driver's side. All right. I just wanted to see if y'all are working anything or looking at anything. I'm a mile north on LA 17 over here north of Winsboro, on just north of LA 4, and I got this car speeding 73 and a 55. It's a black and orange Camaro, and it's got like 3 bullet holes in the left side of it. In that Camaro, that little triangle window right behind the driver door, and right in the door jamb there's a round, and there's like two right behind that. And he said he thinks his brother said his car was in something 2 nights ago. Now he says he lives in Winsboro, but he's got a Richwood address, and the car comes back out of Monroe, and he's got this he's got a GPS thing put in, but he don't even know the address, so he's lying about a bunch of junk. So I was just gonna check y'all aren't working anything up. Yeah.
Hey, how you
Okay.
doing?
Okay.
His family in Monroe is looking for him. They sent me out here to
Okay. All right. Well, I got somebody pulling up behind me, Scooter. All right. Thank you, fella. Hey, now. Who are you?
They done scared me to death.
Well, how are y'all here?
Cause my people from Monroe, that's them on the phone.
What do you mean they were looking for him?
They looking for him. The car missing. Hey.
Okay. Give me the phone. Hey, man. Okay. What? His name is Mike. He's not giving that name though. He's given another name.
I got to go back to work.
What's your number, sir? His phone back.
Yeah, I got to go back to work.
Okay. He said he needs his phone back. I'll call you on a block line in a minute, okay?
And now Trooper Nielsen has been joined by a caller. Mitchell looks to me like he's starting to feel the stress a bit, but I think he's still hoping he's going to walk away from this.
I just had this guy said that there's a kid that's been reported missing, and that they took the car from Monroe, and he lied to me about his last name, his address and where he's from, that the daddy's looking at him. Some random guy pulls up behind me, said, hey, this guy's looking for that kid. I need to know if this car has been reported missing, stolen, and yeah.
Even though the car is not coming back stolen, the trooper knows something's up. The bullet holes have got him tripped out. He knows he's got probable cause because of the weed. But he probably knows he's also in shaky ground to keep looking beyond the cab, right? So he goes back to start questioning the guy again to see if he can get more information.
Where do you live? Be honest to me. Monroe?
Yes, sir.
Richwood?
Yes,
you don't live in Winsboro?
No, sir.
Why would you try to bluff me on that? Why would you lie to me on that? Because I already knew that before this guy said something. What's up? Talk to me. You better stop lying to me right now, or you're going to be in jail.
I'm just going to my sister's out there.
To your sister's? So when I kept asking you where you live, you don't even know, because this ain't even your house. You better get some act right in you and stop lying. Some act right in you and stop lying to me, or I swear to God, you're fixing to go to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's the last freaking lie you better tell me. What's your last name? Who took the car? Who took that car from whoever it belonged to?
He gave me permission for the car.
Mike gave you permission to drive this car?
Yes, sir.
Who gave him permission?
This is for.
Check out this officer eyeing the trunk.
I'm gonna do the obvious thing I want to do. Hey. Yep. Put your hands up. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Don't move. Do you understand? Don't move. To get you into court of law, you have a right to an attorney. Have one present during any questioning. At any time, you can choose not to make any statements or answer any questions. You understand? If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you by the court. Do you understand? Do you understand? Who is that?
Absolutely beautiful execution. He kept his head about him to read him his Miranda rights immediately before he said, "Who is that? Who is that?" Because what could have happened here if the cop just cuffed him and said, "Who is that?" Failure to Mirandize. a good defense attorney could get that completely thrown out because he wasn't advised of his rights before he was questioned. But this officer does make another mistake in his hustle and rush here. He doesn't pat him down. Still no weapons check.
Who is that?
That's him.
Who is who?
That's Mike.
That's Mike.
Who? What? Body? What body? Oh, yeah, that body. That's just Mike.
How did Mike get there? Tell me.
It wasn't me, man. It wasn't.
Okay.
I just hit him, bro. I did.
You just hit him?
I did.
Okay, lock this down. Lock this down.
F39.
Get in there. Get in there.
Wasn't me, man. Wasn't me. Didn't do it. I just hit him. That's all I did. I didn't do anything to him. I didn't hurt him. I just killed him a little bit.
Need a supervisor out here.
You think?
He looked like he wanted to do something.
Yeah. Okay. Did we hadn't searched him yet?
No, we hadn't searched him.
Okay. Step out of the car, my man. Step out of the car, okay? Look at me. I'm gonna take this off, okay? All right, wait, hold on. Everything's gotta be bagged.
Okay.
Get out of the car. Okay, you're gonna have some investigators come and talk to you. Do you understand?
Kick those shoes off.
Kick the shoes off. All right, sit up in there. Sit up in there. You're gonna have some investigators come and talk to you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was like watching a horror movie for me. Like, don't walk down that basement. Turn on the light. Like, finally they searched him. And he had this scarf around his neck that he could have been using to strangle himself. I mean, that was crazy. But officers are humans too, and adrenaline makes you forget things like that. I'm sure they don't find dead bodies in the trunk every day. After this, they took Mitchell back, interrogated him, where he came up with this story about having a co-conspirator involved in killing Robinson. He talked all about this guy, Cameron Poe. Cameron Poe did it. He had an elaborate explanation. The cops bought it and went down there and arrested Cameron Poe and charged them both with first-degree murder. Except another twist. Cops say now that Cameron Poe was never there. It was just another ruse by Mitchell. So they dropped the charges against Poe and are moving ahead with Mitchell. Police say the motive in this crime was robbery. Mitchell actually requested a bench or a judge trial instead of a jury trial. The trial starts on August 29th, 2023 this year, just less than 2 weeks now. And there's like nothing out there on the news about this, but I will be following it as best as I can to let you know what happens. This happened in the state of Louisiana. A final comment here is that I honestly think that this case is getting no attention because unfortunately it's black on black crime, which is very common and not treated as seriously systemically as violence in the cases of whites. And that's sad. R.I.P. Michael Robinson Jr. Sorry, Cameron Poe, that you got mixed up in this whole dang thing. And we'll see what happens. He sure looks guilty to me. These cases are turning me into a prosecutor instead of a defender. Stay salty. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks.
Got what it takes to go. Got what it takes to go. Got what it takes to go.